Good evening, everyone, and happy Full House Tuesday. Welcome to the March 26, 2024 meeting of the Marion County School Board. It's now called to order. Mirroring and modeling the way our students begin each day, I ask that we observe a moment of silence at this time. Please join me. Thank you. I'll now read our board commitment statement. We are the Marion County School District Leadership Team. When we come together to work, we are efficient, effective, and productive. Our three most important characteristics are dedicated, transparent, and individually responsible. To work well together, we must demonstrate respect, confront reality, and be accountable. We will always put students first, and we will leave a legacy of success. For the courtesy of those listening to the meeting, I am requesting everyone in the audience to please turn off their electronic devices or put them on vibrate. Later in the meeting, up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters concerning the operation of the Marion County school system or the school board only. Presentations to the board are limited to 5 minutes and are televised. If you wish to address the board regarding a regular agenda item or matters on which the board customarily takes action, you must first complete a peach-colored form located in the lobby. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing or a student discipline matter, please complete a lime green form. These forms must be fully completed and received by the board clerk no later than 5:40 p.m. The procedures applicable for each are on a separate sheet. Board Clerk, please call the roll. Good evening, Ms. Martinez.
Good evening. Dr. Allison Campbell, District 1.
Here.
Mrs. Lori Conrad, District 2.
Here.
Mr. Eric Cummings, District 3.
Here.
Mrs. Nancy Thrower, District 4.
Here.
Dr. Sarah James, District 5.
Here.
Student Board Member Victor Nygaard from Lake Worth High School.
Here.
Dr. Diane Gullett, Superintendent.
Here.
Mr. Jeremy Powers, School Board Attorney.
Here.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Good evening, Dr. Gullett. If you would please introduce the member of your team who will be helping us with tonight's inspiration and pledge, and then I think you'll also be introducing our newest student board member representative.
I sure will. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Great to see you this evening. We do have a full house, and it's great to see all of our students and our employees and our families here. I would first like to start with Victor Nygaard, who is representing Lake Worth High School as a senior, and we're so pleased to have him at the board table tonight, who will be with us the fourth quarter. Let me give you a little background about Victor. You don't mind, do you, Victor? I'm going to do it anyway. There's a lot to be proud of here. Victor is excelling in the International Baccalaureate program, and I am pleased to say that he has achieved the top 5% of his class. Great accomplishment. He serves also as the Vice President of the Student Government Association, captain of the academic team, and actively participates in various sports. And I also want to mention something that really impressed me is that you serve locally, serving in the local soup kitchen. So you're also helping those in need in addition to serving in leadership roles at your school. So thank you for being here. I know the board will want to welcome you as well.
You're welcome.
How about we give Mr. Nygaard a warm welcome, the whole audience.
So on to further introductions of some amazing students. I'm going to ask Ms. Deb Riedel to come forward, and she is going to kick off our evening of the Inspiration and Pledge and recognizing some very talented students that participated in an essay contest to support for our second year launching literacy. So it's not even launching anymore, literacy in the community and in the classroom. So thank you, Ms. Riedel.
Yes, good evening, Chair Thrower, board members, and Superintendent Gullett. As we continue to promote literacy in our community through our Launching Literacy campaign, I'd like to introduce Ms. Kelly Brower, Coordinator of Instructional Materials, who will be introducing some very talented students tonight.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. It's nice to be here and see so many people here. So good evening, Board Chair Thrower, Vice Chair Conrad, school board members, and Superintendent Dr. Gullett. In 2022, Launching Literacy in the Community was started to promote the importance of literacy throughout Marion County Public Schools. A webpage was created to promote and support family and community engagement while connecting standards-based literacy lessons in the elementary classroom with activities and conversations beyond the school day. Marion County Schools also proudly partnered with local barbershops and hairstylists to provide reading opportunities to students while they are getting a haircut. The tradition of family reading nights at Barnes & Noble began, and menus that promote literacy were and still are distributed to restaurants throughout Marion County. This year, we launched yet another exciting phase of promoting literacy throughout Marion County, which allows students to learn more about how important literacy skills are in the careers of so many business leaders and community members. This year, we have produced 10 videos which have spotlighted community members speaking about the importance of literacy in their career. We want all students to hear these stories about just how important literacy is in their career and which literacy skills have allowed them to achieve their dreams. Marion County Public Schools values the importance of these important community partnerships to help all students reach their highest level of academic success while ensuring students have the ability to read, write, and speak in a way that allows them to communicate effectively all of their ideas that we know will change the world. Additionally, part of this year's campaign was an essay contest that launched on January 22nd, 2024, the first day of Celebrate Literacy Week. We received 160 essay submissions. Tonight, I'm very pleased to welcome our winners. We have students here tonight from kindergarten through high school. This is truly a wonderful way to showcase the progression of writing. I would first like to ask Harper, a kindergarten student at Shady Hill Elementary, to read her essay. Put down the bench for her.
She's going to need a box to stand on.
I got a bench for
We
you
need to do something about
to
it.
make you taller.
Step.
Okay, and you're gonna reach
Oh,
right
there we
into
go.
that microphone and you're just gonna read your essay, baby girl. You good?
Hi, my name is Hobo Hoyt. When I grow up, I am going to be a dentist. I have to write on the computers. I have to write what tooth is messed up. I will have to read books on how to fix the teeth.
Is that it? So say thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. That was great.
Next, I would like to invite Giovanni, a second grader from Greenway Elementary, to read his essay.
Right.
I think you're good without the bench. You're a big guy. There you go. Remember, everybody's in their underwear. Don't be nervous.
Do I just read it?
Yes. No, I'm just going to read it. Just read what you wrote.
In order to be a chef, you need to be able to read. One reason you need to be able to read to be a chef is you need to read to get a recipe. Another reason you need to be able to read is to make menus. The last reason you need to be able to read to be a chef is to get ingredients for the recipes. Reading is important to be able to have a career.
Good job. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Awesome. Good job.
For grades 6 through 8, our winning essay was written by Luca from Osceola Middle School. Luca, please come share your essay with us.
Did you know that literacy skills can be used in almost any job? Good literacy skills are important because of how commonly they are used in jobs and schools. One of the best ways to improve your literacy skills is to read. Here are a couple reasons why. Reading books can improve your literacy skills. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect, or as my teacher used to say, practice makes better. I would like to be a mechanical engineer, and having good reading skills is important for this occupation because engineers need to study books and articles for projects. They also must be able to read messages from people on their team or other people involved with the project. In Writing Tools, 50 Essential Strategies for Every Writer, Roy Peter Clark says that reading teaches valuable skills for people in engineering and others. Reading also improves your comprehension. One way that reading expands your comprehension is by helping you learn how to spell words. This helps because the better you are at spelling words, the more words you will be able to comprehend. Having good comprehension skills are an essential part of effective communication everywhere, including mechanical engineering. The National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine published a report titled Literacy in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, STEM fields, that explains how reading comprehension is a necessary skill for being successful in the field of engineering and other surrounding fields. Another way that reading improves your literacy skills is by improving your vocabulary. Having a larger vocabulary can make it easier to communicate with other people. The better you communicate, the easier tasks become. Having a large vocabulary also makes it easier to understand things such as instructions, handbooks, and user manuals. Using context clues is an essential part of vocabulary and communication skills. The book, Reading in the Brain, The Science and Evolution of a Human Invention by Stanislas Dehaene, says that reading helps improve many important skills, including context clues, which are important for success. This is important because context clues can help you understand unfamiliar words. Lastly, writing, which is one of the most important parts of literacy, can be greatly enhanced by reading. This is because when you read a good, well-written book or article, it can give you a good example of how you could write something of your own. Reading improves your grammar and spelling because seeing how words are spelled, sentences are structured, and the different rules of English can help you learn from the examples. Even though you are simply reading it, you are still learning it. Reading also helps improve your organization skills. This is important in writing because if you do not have a well-organized essay, then it is difficult to understand. Reading also can inspire you to create amazing things, try out different writing styles. It is important to improve your literacy skills because these skills can make most careers a whole lot easier. Literacy is such an important and widely used skill that if you are able to fluently use it, you will find it much easier to succeed in anything. Ultimately, since reading is such an accessible option that can help improve your literacy skills, everyone should take this opportunity.
Lastly, from Westport High School, I am pleased to welcome Georges, a 10th grade student, to read his essay.
Good evening, Superintendent Gullett, Chair Thor, Co-Chair Conrad, school board members Dr. Campbell, Reverend Cummings, and Dr. James. My name is Georges Elise, and I am a 10th grade student at Westport High School. It is an honor to share with you the importance of literacy towards my future career as a football player. As a 10th grade student, it is time that I determine a plan for my future. Since a young boy, I have dreamt of the idea of playing professional football. As the years progressed, the vision became stronger and stronger. As my K-12 career comes to an end in about 2.5 years, becoming an NFL player is still a goal of mine. Playing football will come with many challenges to include memorizing all of the plays, completing countless practice routines, competing against other teams, focusing on strategies for the win, and so much more. My K-12 grade experience has set me up to pursue and continue my educational career to college. To be ready and succeed in college, I have to demonstrate the ability to achieve on various tests. It is my goal to do well in high school academically and physically on the field to gain the attention of football coaches. My literacy skills are used daily and in every subject area. I must remain focused and avoid any distractions that may stop me from focusing on my goal. Reading is needed to succeed in all areas of my educational career. I use my literacy skills to help me remain my focus, minimize distractions, and to study. I have learned that I have to study and review my notes after class to remember the information. As I study, I am using my literacy skills to review my notes. To perform your best as a football player, you must know the plays unless you want to get cooked in film. Football takes strength and speed, and you will be forced to read the field and learn the plays. There are two types of positions on the field, offense and defense. The goal of the defense is to read the offense, to work towards getting the ball to the offense. Once the offense receives the ball, the chance of scoring a touchdown increases. A football player must know how to read the field from notes shared by the coach. In addition, football players should know the various rules of football. To understand the rules, literacy skills are required for the team to know how to dissect the rules and avoid being flagged, because this could cause the team to lose the chance of scoring a touchdown and winning the game. Reading is important for playing football. It is important to read the plays, understand the aggressiveness of the game, and focusing on the speed of the game happening every second. You must be able to adjust as needed. In order to become the best football player you can be, it is important to focus on the game and understand the rules in football. How do you do this? Through using literacy skills. Well, I hope to see you at the top with me. Thank you.
So thank you to all of our students who submitted an essay. It was truly wonderful to learn how literacy will allow you to reach all of your career goals. I thank the District Literacy Committee for scoring the 160 essays, and I think this was a wonderful showcase of our writing skills from kindergarten to, I forgot JCiana. Okay, we have one more.
Fantastic. Come on, JC.
I'm sorry, representing grades 3 through 5, with a big welcome, I would like to welcome up JCiana, a third grade student from Greenway Elementary. I am so sorry. Woo! My little cutie, I was talking to you too. I'm so sorry, my dear. Somehow I skipped in my script. There you go.
Did you know that reading best-selling novels can increase your vocabulary of unknown words by 80%? Obviously, understanding how Greek and Latin words are formed in morphology will allow me to increase my knowledge of unknown words tremendously over time. Of course, I wonder what you want to be an expert in. When I get home every day, I set a goal to read for 1 billion hours every day. Well, I can dream I do, right? This will allow me to increase my IQ score tremendously. As I read The Magic School Bus, I am instantly transformed into a new world of reading. It's almost like I am no longer on planet Earth anymore. If you don't have money to travel, a passport, or a plane ticket, then The Magic School Bus is the perfect read for you. It may be fiction, but it feels real. Take a trip into my spiraling mind, and you will see why I travel all over the world. As words jump off the page at me, are you ready? These type of things take me into outer space, and when I just sit there, I see all the planets. I just imagine I am learning new vocabulary that takes me to a new sense of depth. Just like Miss Fizzle, I'm going to take a chance at being a best-selling author, even in China, because why not? By reading my books, people can travel to 39 countries in just 1 month. Novels will draw you an experience from teaching you a lesson to details about body parts, to being instantly trapped into a game. Let's time travel. Being a novel artist is a huge fascination to me. I can literally rack up 1 million reads online or views on YouTube in less than 30 seconds. Wouldn't that be fantastic? After reading my story, I know you want to be a novel author too. Let's write a compelling character adventure, strong plot, and twisting like the wind climax together. All in all, it'll get everyone talking. I would love to take another trip around the world with you. Just come and join me. We will have a bunch of fun traveling. Adventures to adventures. I wonder if we could go to space and get our suits on. Let's ask Miss Fizzle. Thank you.
I don't know how I could have forgotten that.
I can't think of a better way to kick off a school board meeting, so I think we're just going to give you all a standing ovation. Right? Absolutely wonderful. Way to go.
Yeah, writing looks bright in Marion County Public Schools. Very good. All right, so now you're going to say, please stand.
Please stand for the pledge.
Yep.
And then
Getting our stretch on.
to start.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we can't wait to come down and take a picture with everyone that just shared their essays. And so we will do that right now. And on behalf of the school board, just wanted to share, I think we already showed you how proud and excited we are for your accomplishments and realizing how important reading is. And it was genius to start with kindergarten, and so that we could all witness the progression in skills. It really is amazing. So hats off to all the teachers and parents and everyone else that is working to help these kids be successful. And kids, your motivation and enthusiasm, keep it up. We're so proud of you. All right, let's come down and take a picture.
Right up here. School board. You did so great. You did better than this.
Okay, moms and dads, go for it.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, couple more. Great job.
Almost.
All righty, we're on a roll, Dr. Gullett.
We are, and I'm going to have Dr. Livingood come forward. We have a lot more students to celebrate, board. So, Dr. Livingood, we'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Livingood.
Good evening, Chair Thrower, board members, our Victor, our student board representative, and of course, Superintendent Dr. Gullett. I have the privilege of introducing our secondary coordinator, Dr. Tiffany Drummond. She will share a few words about our math counts competition and introduce the winners.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Livingood. Good evening, Chair Thrower, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Gullett. On Saturday, February 10th, Marion County Public Schools students participated in the local math counts competition hosted by the Marion County Forest chapter of the Florida Engineering Society. The event took place at Howard Middle School, and the day of events included math counts t-shirts for all of our participants, lunch for our competitors, and an awards based on category placements. The schools that competed, which are here tonight, are Howard Middle. They're going to come forward with their sponsor, Ms. Pamela Ernest. Come this way. We have Osceola Middle School that also competed under sponsor Stacy Buckhalter. We also had Liberty Middle School, which competed under sponsor Robert Wagner. North Marion Middle competed under sponsor William Lockley. Bellevue Middle competed under sponsor Alexander Rivas. Horizon Academy under sponsor Deborah McNall. Lake Weir Middle under sponsor Ms. Lenore Ellsworth. And Denellen Middle under sponsor Bill Mignetti. Let me paint a picture of what this day looked like. The morning events were exams where students sat in their seats and performed as a group at the team tables. Then they worked individually for the sprint and target rounds as a team for the team round. The afternoon events where students completed head-to-head at tables at the front of the cafeteria for an overall winning, and it was a unique yet gut-wrenching event. The two teams that will advance to the state competition held on Friday, this Friday, March 29th, are Howard Middle and Osceola Middle. The two individuals who will move forward to represent Marion County Public Schools are Dev Patel from Howard Middle and Alexander Spangler from North Marion Middle. Based on their performance, these students may compete in the national competition held in Washington, D.C. from May 11th to May 14th. Please give these mathletes a round of applause for their exemplary work and competing on February 10th. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and if you would just do a little half turn so we can thank you on behalf of the Marion County School Board. Hello, Ms. Ernest. and all of your teachers and your families and all of the adults that support you and kids for the hard work that you put in. There's a couple middle schools here represented that are perennial powerhouses in these competitions. So they've definitely set the bar high, and the fact that we have had almost every middle school competing really is a testament to the schools and the teachers and the support. So please stay where you are. We can't wait to come down and take a picture of you. And many thanks too to the Marion County chapter of the Florida Engineering Society for sponsoring this great event. All right, we'll head on down. Thank you.
That's correct.
You're okay. Am I your way?
No, you're good. It's fine, you good. Here we go, Mom and Dad, go for it. Everybody look this way. If you need to turn a little bit, that's okay.
Perfect.
Wow, seriously, you make me do calisthenics, I'm gonna snack.
Oh, no.
One more.
All right,
So,
let's continue.
Yes, Madam Chair, Dr. Livingood is back at the podium, and now we're going to move on to recognizing some very accomplished scholar athletes.
I had two more groups to recognize. So this group,
okay.
as Dr. Gullett shared, will be our student athletes from Vanguard High School, but I'd like to bring up our coordinator of athletics activities and JROTC to the podium so he can share a few words about that, and his name is Donnie Tucker.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Tucker.
Thank you, Dr. Livingood. Good evening, Chair Thrower, board members, Dr. Gullett. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to introduce these fine student athletes from Vanguard High School. Day in and day out, we do a lot of stuff out on the athletic fields that people see, but they don't see what these student athletes behind me do in the classroom. And every one of these names that I'm going to call have earned an academic scholarship to play their sport and attend college and get an education. So that's a very good feat considering that what they do and the time and effort that they put in on a daily basis. So without further ado, from football, we have Christopher Allen, and when I call your name, if you guys will come up and stand in the front. Christopher Allen, Mitchell Brown, Markel Davis, John Tavis Davenport, Jeremiah Ewings, Fred Gaskin, Cameron King, Dennis Lane, Kendarius Lee, Taywon Leslie, Terrian Mormon, Jeremiah Rembert, Dallin Ponder, Cameron Powell, Cameron Swinton, Jaquan Thornton, Zamarian Farmer McCray, Jameel Watkins, Jarrell Wilkerson, Ryan Wilson, Robert Wilson, Terrence Farmer, and Anthony Reason.
All right.
These are all. I'd also like to introduce their head coach, Coach Edwin Farmer. These are all of our football players from Vanguard High School. Now moving on to the sport of cross country, we have Rachel Hill and Clayton Knight. In the sport of basketball, we have Gennardo Turner, who I don't think could be with us tonight. And track, we have Anaya Hope, who I think also might have had a prior commitment. So these are all of our student athletes from Vanguard High School who have received an academic scholarship to play a sport at the next level. If we could give them another round of applause.
On behalf of the school board, thank you so much, all of you, for coming out tonight. It really means a lot. We know you're busy, and it's a very busy time of year, but to take the time to come out and be recognized gives us a chance to let you know how proud we are of your accomplishments. We're sure they're the first of many. I wanted to ask, is Christopher Allen here? Was he able to make it tonight? Okay. I just wanted to acknowledge that he is going to be going to the United States Naval Academy. That's where my father graduated from, and I think it's always important to honor anyone that is going into the armed service and willing to protect our country. So if you would share our thanks to Mr. Allen from the school board, our special thanks. And to all of the rest of you, you know, you're going to have a lot of opportunity to do so many different things that are really good for you and you may want to think about. So just keep in mind what all of the adults that care so much about you have worked to instill and what you've worked so hard to instill in yourselves so that you can continue to make those proud, blessed choices. And we wish you the best, and don't think we're not looking for you on TV, because we are. And we celebrate every single time we see you. So thank you again for coming out tonight, and we are coming down for a picture, so don't leave yet.
Chair Thrower, if I could also introduce, I would like to recognize Mr. Chris Carlisle, principal of Vanguard High School,
Absolutely.
and the school's athletic director, Mr. Brett Bevel.
We need him in the picture too, and the AD. And Coach
Thank you.
Farmer and everybody else. Thank you.
From that facilities item that's under discussion.
Yeah, and you can choose to disclose only or disclose and abstain. So it's not truly a recusal, it's an abstention, but you've already disclosed previously, so you can just announce that you can abstain.
Yeah, I just need that form.
I had her print one because there's another thing that I had to have another board member.
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Spelling
Spelling bee.
Yeah, I am having fun.
This is the best part of it.
It's hard to squeeze into all the photos.
Just another. Keep
Okay.
going.
Okay, that was exciting. I would now like to introduce to you our coordinator of K-12 curriculum, Mark Ingram. He will introduce to you our spelling bee champions for the school year.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Ingram.
Good evening. You guys getting your steps tonight? I'm here to introduce the winners of the Marion County Spelling Bee, which was held here in this auditorium on January 30th. Callie Godwin and Kathy Lee. Students who qualified for the county spelling bee were selected first via class spelling bees or quizzes and school spelling bees. 2 winners from each of our middle schools and winners from Trinity Catholic or Blessed Trinity also competed. The bee was sponsored by the GFWC Women's Club of Ocala, who provided judges and prizes for the winners. They're represented here tonight with Diana Meyer-Henry, Sonia Palmer, Tayula Bondank, Sandra Emmel, and co-presidents Debbie Ivy and Kathy Fountain, and I want to thank them for their support. Dr. Danielle Livingood was in attendance to greet the crowd and also present awards. Kevin Christian served as the word caller and moderator, and this was a tough one this year. Also in attendance were school bee coordinators, as well as principals and assistant principals from each school. And tonight, the school bee coordinators are represented by Ms. Frender from Bellevue Middle and Ms. Barkley from Liberty. Pause for them too. The 22nd Annual County Bee ended after 22 rounds, including 18 with just these two students in a tiebreaker. Both were named as the top spellers following a judge's decision to end the event in a tie. Callie Godwin, an 8th grader at Bellevue Middle, and Kathy Lee, a 7th grader at Liberty Middle, walked away as the co-district champions. The two winning words ended up being stigmata and ulna. Thank you.
All right. We definitely want to come down and take a picture with you, and also the Women's Club, thank you so much for sponsoring, and please come down and join in the picture. Being able to spell and words are just, it's personally exciting to me, and stigmata, that's a good one. And the fact that it went 18 rounds and then had to just end in a tie just shows what amazing spellers you are, which will always be helpful in life. So without further ado, the school board will come down and take a picture with everybody. Thank you. If your principals are here, please come down.
Yep.
Another, we do have more. We have, well, we're getting close.
Doing good.
Still a lot of people there, though. Oh, school recognitions.
Yes, oh yes. The perfect audits.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, members of the board, before we do our final recognition for tonight, I just want to prepare you for next board meeting. There are more athletes and more students coming to be recognized. So
Great.
more to come, more to come.
Yes, this is the best way to start a night.
Really, really proud of all of our students. So I am pleased to have Ms. Boston Ellis, our Chief Financial Officer, come forward, and we've moved from student success to those who are supporting student success. And she will be recognizing our principals and department heads for the amazing job that they are doing with their teams to support receiving a perfect audit, which is also part of the importance of what we do with our taxpayer dollars, and that we're working in a very efficient manner. So looking forward to celebrating. Thank you, Ms. Boston Ellis.
Good evening. Yep, you're on.
He muted the mic.
Yeah.
He muted the mic.
Gotta push the button. There you go.
Now it's green. Good evening, Chair Thrower, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Gullett. Today we continue the celebration of our schools and selected departments for their excellence in bookkeeping. for the fiscal year 2022-2023. They are to be commended on this achievement. These 22, and believe it or not, 3 of them are high schools, and we know how hard that is to get that award and recognition. So 22 of them have met the criteria of a perfect audit. I also want to celebrate our internal accounts auditing department, which is led by Christine Corrigan and also Patricia Eubanks, we call her Patty, and Jessica Puckett. They audit the school internal accounts, but both principals and secretary bookkeepers will tell you that this department also provides support and guidance. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Christine Corrigan as we take this time to celebrate the big kids in our school district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Gullett, Board Chair Nancy Thrower, and board members. And thank you, Teresa. As she stated, we would like to recognize the 22 schools and programs for their perfect audit for the 22-23 school year. A perfect audit, just so you know, does consist of these schools meeting all of our Red Book requirements the state of Florida has, our Florida statutes, and then our school board policies that you guys have put in place. The certificate they're receiving tonight says Award of Bookkeeping Excellence is awarded in recognition of achieving a perfect audit with no findings for the 22-23 school year, and it is signed by Superintendent Dr. Gullett and our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Teresa Boston Ellis. I just want to say congratulations to them on their accomplishments for this. They have worked very hard, and they should be very proud of the work that they have done. I would like to call up each school and/or program, provide them with a certificate, and this, if they will stay up front for a photo at the end. For the following individuals, would you come up as you are called, and please stay. The first one, I'm so excited, is one of our high schools, as Ms. Teresa mentioned, Bellevue High School, Miss Principal, Miss Heather Guest, and Bookkeeper, Miss Shannon Morris. Is Bellevue Santos Elementary School, Principal Miss Kim White, and Shelley Palmatier, the Secretary. College Park Elementary School, Principal Miss Terry Forsyth, and Secretary Miss Christine Boycelli. Denellen Elementary School, Principal Miss Karen English, and Secretary Miss Sheila Clay, who is unable to attend this evening. Pheasant Elementary School, Principal Miss Stacy Newmans, and Secretary Miss Madison Husky. Greenway Elementary School, Principal Miss Leanne Kircher, and Secretary Miss Kelly Sullivan, who is unable to attend this evening. Hammett Bowen Elementary School, Principal Miss Tracy Crawford, and Secretary Miss Mary Kelly. Another high school, Miss Lakeware High School, Principal Miss Colleen Wade, and Bookkeeper Miss Noelle Warner. Next is Lakeware Middle School, Principal Mr. Jason Jacobs, and Secretary Miss Tammy Tenney. Legacy Elementary School, Principal Miss Shamika Murphy, and Secretary Miss Liz Lucas. Liberty Middle School, former principal, Miss Melissa Connor, and current principal, Mr. Bo Williams, and former secretary, Miss Beth Knife. Maplewood Elementary School, Principal Miss Chrissy Carter, and Secretary Miss Lori Rabel. Next will be Marion After School Programs Prior coordinator, Miss Pam Eubanks, current coordinator, Miss Karen Lorensko, and Secretary, Miss Sarah Workman. They are unable to be here this evening, and we will make sure they receive their certificate. Marion Technical College, Principal Mr. Gary Smallridge, and Bookkeeper Miss Karen Marlin. She was unable to attend this evening. And North Marion High School, Principal Miss Carol Sales, and former Bookkeeper Miss Sherry Duran, who came in tonight to support North Marion High School. Osceola Middle School, Principal Mr. Matthew Koff, and Secretary Ms. Lori Hunter, who was unable to attend tonight. South Ocala Elementary School, Principal Dr. Diana Elsey, and Secretary Ms. Valerie Landreth. Spar Elementary School, Principal Ms. Renee Johnson, and Secretary Ms. Jana Graham. Stanton Wearsdale Elementary School, Principal Ms. Cynthia Brody, and Secretary Ms. April Stage, who was unable to attend this evening. Sunrise Elementary School, Principal Ms. Kathy Bayless, and Secretary Ms. Nydia Delgado. Ward Highlands Elementary School, Principal Ms. Teresa Buck, and Ms. Secretary Lana Phillips. They were unable to attend this evening, and we will make sure they get their certificates. And last but not least, Wyoming Park Elementary School, Principal Ms. Victoria Hunt, and Secretary Ms. Jolene Hughes, who is unable to attend. Okay. I work with you guys every day. We love you guys. Thank you for everything you do. Keep it up, and congratulations.
All right. Hi.
Hello.
On behalf of your Marion County School Board, we're so grateful that at the end of your very long days that you were able to come out here tonight so that we can honor you and celebrate you and thank you for your great work and keeping our schools solvent so that we can have all these programs for these kids that are being so successful. So honestly, it is a privilege to have you here tonight, and thank you for everything that you do. So we can't wait to come down and take a picture. So let's do it, so you can go home.
Stays with you. Stand on the stage behind you.
This might be our last night of having the.
Yes, it is. Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hey, Victor.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
I
you.
didn't catch you before the meeting. Okay.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's something that broke. Oh, it looks like maybe a frame.
Okay, maybe so.
Oh, boy.
Now the auditorium.
Donation time.
Sure was nice.
Sure was.
Yes, on to
Yes.
the,
What a tremendous start to the night.
yes.
And I guess unless there's some puppies and kittens about to come out, we have to get on to business.
Yeah, that's time.
All right. I have recognitions next of our donations. And we have one donation to recognize tonight of $1,000 to Bellevue High School from the Rotary Club of Bellevue. And we always and truly appreciate the financial support and so many in-kind supplies that we've gotten from the community over the years. And every single thing that we receive is greatly needed and appreciated. So thank you, Bellevue. Thank you, Rotary Club of Bellevue. All right, Dr. Gullett, I think it's time to make a recommendation on tonight's school board meeting.
Yes, it is. Thank you,
Agenda.
Madam Chair. I recommend approval of the agenda for the March 26, 2024 school board meeting with the materials in the board packet, those materials distributed to board members at the meeting, and the audio recording included as part of the official record of the meeting, with the exception of the following items: D22.1, D22.2, D22.3, D22.4, D22.5, D22.6, D22.7, and D22.8 that have been placed under discussion. Also, we have item C16.3 that has been completely withdrawn from the agenda tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gullett. Board, may I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Motion by Board Member Campbell.
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Conrad. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to 6.1, may I have a motion to approve the minutes for the February 6, 2024 administrative briefing and work session? Motion by Reverend Cummings.
Second.
Second by Board Member Campbell. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the February 13th, 2024 school board meeting?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vice Chair Conrad.
Second.
Second by Board Member James. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the February 20th, 2024 administrative briefing and work session?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Dr. James.
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Conrad. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Ms. Martinez, would you please provide the proof of publication for tonight's school board meeting?
The notice for the March 26, 2024 school board meeting ran in the Ocala Gazette on March 15, 2024. The proof of publication has been attached in board docs under proof of publication.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. We'll move on now to persons requesting to address the board, and I will now ask the school board's attorney to explain the rules governing persons who wish to address the school board this evening. You're on, Attorney Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In compliance with Section 286.0114 of Florida statutes, the school board has adopted uniform procedures for public speakers who wish to speak at this evening's meeting regarding either one of today's agenda items or a matter relating to the operations of the school district. These procedures will ensure the public has a reasonable opportunity to be heard on school board matters and school district matters. A written summary of these procedures are available from the table in the lobby. Public speaker forms are also available on the same table. The completed forms were due to the school board's clerk no later than 5:40 p.m. This evening, speakers will be called prior to the business portion of the school board's meeting in the order of receipt by the school board clerk. Before you begin speaking, please state your full name for the record and spell your last name. Each speaker will have 5 minutes of time. However, if there are more than 5 persons who wish to speak, the board may seek consensus to limit each speaker's time to 3 minutes. When the speaker has 1 minute remaining, the speaker will receive a visual notice to complete his or her comments. Speakers may not yield their time to other people. Speakers and meeting attendees are expected to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. Therefore, verbal attacks and profanity are strictly prohibited. Pursuant to the procedures for public comments, item 6, speakers are not to identify specific individuals other than themselves or their child unless a statement is provided 24 hours in advance. The board is here to listen to your comments only. You may be directed to an administrative staff member following the conclusion of your comments for further assistance to address your concerns. If there are matters dealing with student discipline, including expulsions, they'll be scheduled at the conclusion of the televised portion of this meeting. Parents may address the board regarding a discipline matter at that time. To ensure student privacy, only a parent or guardian may use the student's first or last name. Identifying references to or identification of students and/or their families are also strictly prohibited. A speaker's speech does not reflect the endorsement, sponsorship, position, or expression of the school district. Thank you for your attention to the board's requirements. Madam Chair, that concludes my explanatory remarks.
Thank you, Attorney Powers. Ms. Martinez, do we have any speakers this evening?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have one speaker, Melanie Slaughter.
Thank you. Good evening, Ms. Slaughter.
I am here to let the board know what you saw today was something that Coach Farmer and Mrs. Farmer started 4 years ago. So my son had just finished his freshman year 4 years ago at Vanguard High School, and half the senior class was not able to sign football scholarships because they didn't academically qualify. So Coach Farmer and I had a discussion, and I told him that the reason why my children do good in school is not because they're geniuses, it's because they are expected to. And he took the bull by the horns, and so did Mrs. Farmer, and he started an expectation at Vanguard football that every child at Vanguard football would have a 3.0 GPA or above. He got donations from Chick-fil-A to give gift cards out to students that made the 3.0 or above. And it didn't happen right away. And it took time. Summer school helped a lot, so thank the board for that, catching students up and getting students to qualify. I think year-round school is going to be a great godsend for kids that need extra help because it keeps them in school more, and I hope that passes for Wyoming Park Elementary School, their thing. But basically, what I want to tell the board is he made the expectation 4 years ago. What you see now is the result of expecting a 3.0. Every senior on the Vanguard High School football team, with the exception of one who I think had a 2.9, had a 3.0 or above when they graduated. When we had senior night, for the first time in 5 years on senior night at Vanguard football, when I was there watching my sophomore daughter cheer, they announced the GPA of every single senior that graduated. And half of them had a 3.0 or above, and half of them had a 4.0 or above. And that's because Coach Farmer and Mrs. Farmer are making the expectations that there is no excuse. You have tutoring. We offer tutoring at Vanguard High School now. Anytime you want tutoring, you can get it. Anytime you need help, you can get it. The teachers have bought in, the students have bought in. Mr. Carlisle, 4 years ago, used Title I money to get a computer program that tells students you plug in your grades. You have to have the grades in the core classes. A lot of them don't understand that. It isn't going to help you go to college if you have an A in PE and a C in English or a D in English. And they learn the core that they have to have. They have that computer program. The parents bought into it. The parents are now doing it. Fred Gaskin, whose father was here today, who's one of the leaders on this football team, started posting his son's grades on Facebook his freshman year. Every quarter, he posted his grades and challenged every single player on the football team. I can make over a 3.0, so can you. I can make over a 3.5, so can you. I can make over a 4.0, so can you. And so I'm asking you to consider making that challenge, because now my sons that are playing at Forest High School, guess what? They have a 3.0 club now. Not only do they have a lifting club, if you lift a certain amount, you get a T-shirt. If you make over a 3.0, you get a T-shirt. They took them to Dave & Buster's last year for every football player that made over a 3.0 on that football team. Football is the greatest way to get boys to care about school. It is the thing that they will work for, that they will grind for, that they will put the time in for, and you can switch athletics to academics very easily if you invest in the people that run these programs. So I'm asking the board to not only do what you did tonight and congratulate the people that run these programs and these young men, but do it for every school. Because that's how you keep these kids in school, that's how you get them going to college, and that's how you get them caring about academics. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Slaughter. Really appreciate your comments. They're very timely, actually. Ms. Martinez and I were just talking about this before the meeting, that you get what you settle for in this life. So thank you. All right, do we have any other speakers, or does that conclude it?
That concludes it.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to some information items. Board items 9.1 through 9.7 are information only. Per Board Policy 6345, the superintendent is authorized to approve and execute any construction contract change order that will increase the construction contract amount by $25,000 or less, or that will ideally decrease the construction amount. Item 9.1, construction of a security fencing system at Waimea Park Elementary. Change order number 1, work authorization number 31, project 23-131. Project 9.2, electrical system upgrades at Fessenden Elementary School. Change order number 1, work authorization number 12, project number 14-102. Item 9.3, enhancement to the security fencing system at Fort King Middle School. Change order number 1, work authorization number 17, project number 22-111. Item 9.4, modification of the security fencing system at Dr. N.H. Jones Elementary School. Change order number 1, work authorization number 25, project number 23-131. Item 9.5, modification of the security fencing system, excuse me, at Fordham Early Learning. Change order number 1, work authorization number 32, project 23-131. Item 9.6, modification of the security fencing system at Sunrise Elementary School. Change order number 1, work authorization number 29, project number 23-131. Item 9.7, replacement of covered walkway roof system at Fort McCoy School. Change order number 1, work authorization number 18, project number 21-110. Okay, moving on to our consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items C10.1 through C21.1 with the exception of items D22.1, D22.2, D22.3, D22.4, D22.5, D22.6, D22.7, and D22.8 that have been placed under discussion, and item C16.3 that has been completely withdrawn from the agenda. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Board Member Cummings.
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Conrad. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to our discussion items. We'll start with D22.1. May I have a motion to approve the second renewal with Cox Florida Telecom LP doing business as Cox Business? Need a motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Vice Chair Conrad, second by Board Member Campbell. Dr. Gullett, do you have information you would like to share regarding this item?
I do. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm going to speak to items 22.1 through 22.4. The first four, they're grouped together, and reserve comment for later and answer any questions. They're grouped because all four items are pertaining to internet services being provided to our schools and our departments. So, and I want to make a note here that 80% of these costs that you see, and it's nearly 1.5 million in total, but 80% of these are reimbursable through our E-rate program. So we've grouped them together for your awareness. That's why they're under discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank goodness for the E-rate program.
Correct.
Also not included in the script, but also to be included is item 10.1. The public hearing.
Right.
do the public hearing?
I don't have it in my script.
Nope, it was just an oversight in the script.
Okay. And the public hearing is related to,
There are policies. So it's on the agenda. I believe it's not in the script. So,
It's on the agenda, but
it is on the agenda?
correct.
Okay,
For the consent agenda.
okay. So,
I'm just letting you know so we can read that out when it comes. So, and now would be the time. So I'm pulling it up on the agenda right now.
okay, thank you. Just so that we don't further confuse everybody, we'll go ahead and do the voting for these discussion items, and then we'll go ahead back and do the public hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, is there any discussion from the board on, let's see. That was item 22.1. Any further discussion from the board regarding the second renewal with Cox Florida Telecom LP, doing business as Cox Business? Okay. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right, moving on to D22.2. May I have a motion to approve the Second Amendment with the City of Ocala doing business as Ocala Fiber Network?
To approve.
Motion by Board Member Cummings. Second by Vice Chair Conrad. Dr. Gullett, do you have any other specific information you'd like to share about this item?
Nothing additional. If there are anything specific that the board would like to know, Mr. Benvenuti is here also, but no, nothing additional for those other items.
Okay. Any other discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. We'll move on then to D22.3. May I have a motion to approve the first renewal of the City of Ocala doing business as Ocala Fiber Network?
So move.
Motion by Board Member Cummings. Second by Board Member James. Anything further from the board or Dr. Gullett? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. Moving on to 22.4. May I have a motion to approve the third renewal with Cox Florida LP doing business as Cox Business?
Motion to approve?
Motion by Board Member Campbell, second by Board Member Cummings. Any further discussion from superintendent or board? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. Okay, let's go ahead and get that public hearing out of the way to approve our board policies.
And this is as to item 10.1, a public hearing to adopt the revised board policies. And I will read from the agenda item to indicate that we had, as soon as I can pull it up here. The prior board action was we had a work session on February 1st of 2024, another on February 20th of 2024, and one on February 26th of 2024. The adoption of the updated board policies will ensure that board policies reflect the board's guidance, are consistent with statutory revisions, and are available for review by all district employees. The board's policies are located on board docs and are easily available to district staff, and the public costs associated with this item are minimal advertisement costs for the legal notices.
Thank you, Attorney Powers, and there's no vote tonight. It's simply a public hearing.
It would be a public hearing, and then we vote after the public hearing.
Okay, all right. I declare a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the topic of adopting the revised board policies? Okay, hearing none. Any discussion from the board? Seeing none. Ready to vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. Thank you.
And that motion will be the motion to adopt the revised board policies.
That is correct. All right, great work on everyone's behalf on all of those. All of those many policies. All right, may I have a motion? We're moving on to D22.5 now. May I have a motion to approve the contract between owner and construction manager for construction services related to construction of a new gymnasium at Osceola Middle School, which is project 24-109. May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Moved by Board Member Cummings. second by Vice Chair Conrad. Dr. Gullett, do you have information you would like to share regarding this item?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, you will see the pattern tonight. We've also grouped these next 4 items. These are all construction related, and as you know from our previous meetings recently, we've been putting all these under discussion. So they're all construction related, and that's why they are under discussion. No additional information that I need to add other than what's in there already. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gullett. Is there any discussion from the board regarding the Osceola Middle School project? Yes, Board Member Campbell.
Thank you, Chair Thrower. So I just want to say, as a mom of Osceola Middle School basketball players, I'm on my 3rd basketball player at Osceola Middle School. It's unfortunate that this will be built in August 2026 because none of the Campbell boys will have the opportunity to actually play in it. Nevertheless, I'm super excited that Osceola Middle School students will have the ability to have a functional, wonderful working space for all athletic activities that they have on their campus that are indoor and that actually fans can come and enjoy indoor on the Osceola Middle School campus. So I think it'll be a great opportunity. But the other thing, Chair, I will be recusing myself from this vote because of the contractor that we've chosen I have personal relationship with.
Okay, thank you very much, Board Member Campbell. Any other discussion from the board? All right. Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out, I was excited to see that this also includes part for the music program. And so the gymnasium and for the music program, which is really exciting.
Yes, it is. Very much so. All right. Nothing else from the board? We'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously 4-0 with Board Member Campbell recusing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to D22.6. May I have a motion to approve the construction of a horse pasture and shade structure at Reddick Collier Elementary School?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vice Chair Conrad, second by Board Member Cummings. Dr. Gullett, do you have any additional information you'd like to share regarding this item?
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anything else from the board? Yes, Dr. James.
I just wanted to mention, I was visiting recently, and Mr. Manning and I were chit-chatting about this and other things, and the kids are very excited, and he's very excited for it to be a wonderful incentive to help students come to school and have an opportunity to spend time with a horse. So only positives coming from Reddick Collier.
That's wonderful to hear. My understanding is it's a pretty famous horse. Is that right, Dr. Gullett?
Yes, I met him personally.
He's a movie star, according to my understanding.
He's a movie star. He's impressive.
Yes,
Doc.
And he was in the movie The Pirates of the Caribbean, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yep. So pretty cool right here in little old Marion County. All right. Yeah, isn't that neat? All right. If there's no more discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes emphatically, enthusiastically, 5-0. We will move on now to D22.7. May I have a motion to approve the construction of a new central warehouse, Amendment 2, to the construction manager contract, change order number 2, project 20-102. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Vice Chair Conrad.
Second.
Second by Dr. Campbell. Any more information you'd like to share with us regarding this item, Dr. Gullett?
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else from the board? All right. Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. Moving on to D22.8, may I have a motion to approve contract for architectural design services for new high school, CCC, project 24-105. I'll say again, new high school, CCC. Motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vice Chair Conrad. Second by Board Member Campbell. Any further information, Dr. Gullett, you'd like to share?
No, Madam Chair, thank you.
Okay, any discussion from the board? Go ahead, Board Member James.
I won't be voting on this item tonight because I was a part of the committee that went and did the tours for the prototypes. But I want to say that the committee spent 2 days going across greater Central Florida. I think we looked at 6 or 7 schools. And when we walked, this was our last one over 2 days. And when we walked up to this school, it just felt like home. It just felt great. And it's beautiful. I know a few other board members got to take a visit. And it was just such a great opportunity to spend time discussing with the site leader there, what they love, which was a lot of positives. And I'm really excited to move forward with this design. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to Marion County, and it feels very collegiate and very fancy, and it's going to be great for our community. So I fully support the board's moving forward in this direction.
Awesome, thank you. Board Member James, any further discussion from the board? I don't think anyone else could have put it better. Hearing none, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0 with Board Member James recusing. Okay, it is time to move on to 23.1, which is Board Member Committee Reports and Concerns. We'll start with a couple of meeting reminders. A special board meeting has been scheduled on April 11th, 2024 at 7 a.m. The next administrative briefing and work session has been scheduled for April 11th, 2024. The following administrative briefing and work session has been scheduled for May 2nd. And then, of course, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we'll be at the Livestock Auditorium for our joint meeting with our fellow elected officials. And so we'll look forward to seeing everyone there. And then again on Thursday for our work session. So a busy week for everybody. We'll go ahead and start with Ms. Martinez. Any comments, things we need to know from your seat?
Board members, just so you know, I've made your reservations for your summer conference. If you plan to not attend, please let me know by May 30th. That's the last day that I would be able to get a refund back. Anything after that, then I would not be able to get a refund. But your rooms are all secured for June 4th through June 7th.
So it's May 30th?
May 30th is the deadline.
Okay, you may want to send a reminder out on like the 29th or a couple days ahead, just to make sure, because that is, it's a very important conference, a great conference, but if for some reason something comes up, we don't want to lose the money for the hotel room for sure. Okay, thank you, Ms. Martinez. Dr. Gullett.
Yes, just briefly, thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, I want to just take a moment again to congratulate our students from tonight and our school teams for the great work they're doing. Want to thank you all for your participation in what was a historic day last week with the groundbreaking of our 2 elementary schools. What a beautiful day. Thanks to the team for making that possible. Lots more to come with growth and building, so much to celebrate in Marion County right now. I also want to just land on where we always should land on students. We begin with students and end with students. And today I had the opportunity, and I know a couple of you were there as well, to join in at the Bellevue CEP kickoff, and it was held at Bellevue High School. I want to thank Principal Guest for her leadership. She had the opportunity to share. I encouraged them to let's hear from Principal Guest so she could share what's happening on our campus. And so much to celebrate there, but it's about the students, and the students prepared breakfast, the culinary students, and they had student ambassadors out welcoming, engaging with the business community leaders. And so I think it was just a great partnership of continuing that work, that showcasing what we're doing with students and allowing our students to participate with our community. So I just want to thank the CEP for that and thank Principal Guest and her team. Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Dr. Gullett. And we will move on now to our new student board member representative, Mr. Victor Nygaard from Lake Weir High School. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you again, Madam, for this opportunity to be here, but are you asking if I have any reports or anything?
Absolutely.
No, thank you, Madam, not today.
It's a lot to absorb in a short amount of time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate the opportunity.
You bet. All right, Board Member Campbell.
Sure thing. So great things we had in the meeting this evening. It's always wonderful to start with so many recognitions, and we have an hour worth at the beginning. It's just a lot of fun. I have a special place in my heart for Math Counts. I love what Math Counts is, and the engineers in our local community that support that all-day event that occurs. My own family had to adjust spring break plans one time because of one of my sons had to come back to Florida to compete. And so it's just great. I have a special place in my heart there. Super amazing about our spelling bee champions, plural, because what an amazing accomplishment to go 18 rounds, just the two of them together. And one of them is in 7th grade, so I think we'll see her again. And also, all the great writers and readers that we had this evening. It wasn't just about their writing ability, but also how well they were able to read what they had written, and it was so just great. Also, super excited for each of the student athletes receiving scholarships to play. I said to each one of them that I was able to see quickly, make sure that you keep your grades up as you get to school so you are on the field every time, because as all of us who've attended college know, sometimes that freshman year, just you get excited being away from home and what that looks like. But also thank you to Miss Melanie Slaughter. She always comes and brings great insight to us and talking about the long game that Mr. Farmer, Coach Farmer and his wife have done there at Vanguard, and really seeing what that looks like from a freshman year on. Had an opportunity to speak with our athletic directors recently and reminded them that they have the ability, based on policy that this school board has enacted, that they can create an athletic code of student conduct. And perhaps they do want to consider GPA, attendance, discipline requirements that they put in for our athletes. And, whatever they write and whatever Dr. Gullett is willing to approve from that perspective, we have enshrined in policy that they can do that. And so I think that Ms. Slaughter's comments tonight can be taken to heart, and our athletic directors can certainly consider that. And then certainly recognizing perfect audits. We've done a good job of recognizing them every time that our board meeting has come up, but we obviously got to see them all collectively tonight. So again, just a recap of some great things that we had. I also started my day at Bellevue High School as the new host location for Bellevue CEP. Just wonderful opportunity to showcase. Many of the folks walked in and said they had no idea that black box, also known as the loft, even existed at Bellevue High School. The culinary students showcased their work, and it just showcases the wonderful things that the Bellevue community offers, not only to our students, but also to the families there in Bellevue. My family, my children attend there, so I was excited to be there. So many other great things happening all throughout the district, way too many to name. The groundbreakings were wonderful, and reading to students and being able to meet with principals and district leaders. There's been a lot going on. I know we had spring break, but wow, there's a lot going on. The only other thing that I wanted to mention to school board members, just because communication that we have with district staff, you aren't privy to unless we discuss it here. As we approve this evening the architectural agreement to move forward with the high school, I've been talking to Ms. Dobbins and Mr. Knight and even Dr. Gullett a bit about the desire that I had as an individual board member to ensure that we were providing adequate athletic facilities, and that would include 2 gymnasium floors indoors. And so what I want to tell you that I've found out, and I'm going to continue to research this a bit, but Ms. Dobbins has told me that according to the Certificate of Participation Fund, as well as the SREF recommendations, that they require that we're only able to build 1 gym floor. So she sent me the link yesterday. I'm going to be researching what most recently was updated in 2014, but SREF stands for State Requirements for Educational Facilities, and the Florida Building Code, I believe to be antiquated, board, frankly. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to research and see when some of this was put into place, but the total square footage of the court cannot exceed 6,500 square feet, and a standard high school court is 4,200 square feet, et cetera, et cetera. The seating capacity for a school of 2,500 students is capped at 250 seats in the gymnasium. I'm going to research exactly when SREF put in requirements for gymnasiums, but what we have approved as far as the architectural renderings that we've seen show multiple outdoor spaces. Football field, 2 practice fields, outdoor fields for baseball, softball, tennis courts, beach volleyball, all of these wonderful individual sports that are played outdoors. We have plenty of outdoor space, and we're approving that to move forward. But I dare say that SREF has not looked at this, since we now have boys and girls basketball and their JVs, girls volleyball, boys volleyball, competitive cheerleading, wrestling, girls and boys weightlifting, just to name a few. And those are all the sports that have to practice and compete indoors, and we only have 1 location for that to occur. I believe that's antiquated. I'm going to continue to do the research, but I think that it might be something that this board needs to consider in legislative priorities next year to work on potentially DOE rule changes or whatever it's going to take to start not discriminating against our indoor sport athletes, because that's what it feels like to me. And knowing that it's a state of Florida regulation, we need to work on it. So those are my thoughts. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Board Member Campbell. We'll appreciate your next update on that.
Absolutely.
And how we can support. Okay, Attorney Powers, anything from your chair down there?
We're happy to have the Office of Board Clerk and Board Services will be operating under the purview of the legal department, and we've been doing that for a couple of weeks now. Things are running smoothly, so please excuse us as we get started here and get into our new surroundings and everything. We have reflected to staff that any deliveries to be made to the Office of the Board Clerk can be made directly to the legal department, and we will still maintain offices as they are currently. We are very proud and excited to have this new addition. So as we continue on, we'll find ways to improve operational efficiency every way we can. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it. Board Member James.
Good evening. I wanted to just touch on a few things that we did tonight and some upcoming things and also some things happening in District 5. So tonight we approved our policies, our revised policies, which included some policies which had extensive discussion as a board, including the posting of "In God We Trust" in all of our schools. And I think that in doing research, I think we're the first public school district to make that requirement in the state of Florida, but maybe in the entire country. So I think we've done some really groundbreaking stuff here tonight, and I look forward to continuing to work with community members to do amazing things throughout our school district. I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Benvenuti. I was visiting with Miss White at Bellevue Santos recently, and she shared with me that as many are feeling the pressure of new students coming, she has had to explore her existing space and find space for new students next year. Ms. Dobbins' department does a wonderful job of walking with principals and helping them identify areas in their school that are maybe could be better utilized. And so there was a few classrooms that Ms. White needed to convert, and they needed a little love. And one of the areas of love, she shared amazing things to say about the facilities department. They're already out there painting and doing floors and all of the things. But she also had high remarks for Mr. Benvenuti and the entire technology department that are outfitting them with all of the smart boards and all of the things they need to make them an exceptional space for learning next year. So I wanted to take this opportunity to just share that a variety of departments are working now to address the growth pains that we will feel next school year, and they're being very proactive. Today we received the email that we are scheduled to do prototype tours in the third week of April for Lake Warren Middle School's replacement. So we will be hitting the pavement across the state of Florida to tour prototypes over 2 days with Mr. Jacobs and some other team members, and find hopefully an amazing middle school prototype that would be perfect for Lake Warren Middle School. So that work is coming. I got a text message from Athletic Director Philip Small, and then an email the following day from Principal Guest regarding the Bellevue High School softball and baseball scoreboards that are installed. I know that there's a variety of us that spent a lot of time helping get us to a place where we were going to be able to make that happen for them. And I know that there's a lot of work that has occurred through the facilities department and with staff to address this need. And also, as multiple board members have made it a public priority of theirs, including myself, to make sure that we are putting some money into athletics every year. So I wanted to acknowledge that they're very grateful to have those 2 new scoreboards. For my district, District 5, I just wanted to say Jambalaya opened their doors this past weekend, and the North Marion High School, JROTC, came and got to tour Bob Bull's mini array of historic military planes. So the students got to come and see just how historic all of the things that he has there. Dr. Gold and I got to tour it maybe 18 months ago now with Mr. Smallridge, and there is some really awesome stuff there. So he welcomed his doors. I had sent him a message and connected with him, and he said anytime. So the students came this past weekend and got an opportunity to take a tour. I want to give the county commissioner a shout out. Ocala Springs Elementary is in a unique place that is basically just a two-lane road. So car line winds up backing up, not on the road, because then traffic would go all the way to the main thoroughfare. So they have created a turn lane of themselves on the side of the road, and it's made for pretty rough road conditions. The principal reached out to me, and I reached out to Commissioner Carl Zalek, who connected me with an amazing staff member. And the Monday after spring break, I think Ms. Riedel joked, and she said, there was just a bunch of dirt here, and I didn't know what was happening. So county staff got lots of dirt brought out there and addressed the immediate needs. And then we've had further conversation with Ms. Dobbins in the facilities department to try and maybe renegotiate how they do car and bus so that we can maximize it and try and get it off the roadway. So just lots of really great collaborative conversations with us and other organizations to try and meet our families where they are. And then finally, I just wanted to say there's been some conversation about a new shop that has opened in Anthony on the four-way stop. It opened like over the weekend, basically. It was a thrift store, and it is not a thrift store anymore. So I just wanted to clarify to the community that the school board has no control over places that open adjacent to our properties. And honestly, the county commission, if the zoning is not changing, also really has no control over what's opening. So it's just important for the community to understand that sometimes at the local level, there's not as much control as we have. And so if we are concerned as a community about smoke shops, shops that may sell legal drugs being next to our schools, we should take that up at the state level and have a discussion with our legislators about that, because oftentimes those things are far beyond what our local control can do, but certainly beyond the control of Marion County Public Schools. So I will continue to connect community members with the right people, but unfortunately it's completely out of our purview. So thank you all, and that's it.
Thank you, Board Member James. Board Member Cummings.
Good evening, everyone. Just a few things. This was a great meeting tonight. The opening of the meeting was like none other, with so many recognitions. I thank the superintendent for putting all those on tonight. Before I get there, in our consent agenda tonight, we approved the year-round calendar for Wyoming Park Elementary. I want to thank the team that put that calendar together. It is I think it's an excellent calendar. I think it does not have as many disruptions or interruptions. I think it fits the area, and I really believe that this is going to be a benefit for the students at Wyoming Park and our district. I'm grateful for the team that took the time to listen to the concerns of the people in that area that want to make sure that they were heard, but also to make sure that they took in consideration many other aspects that people don't think about, such as child care and adults' parents' work schedules and all those things. So I want to commend them on that, because when we make those type of decisions, or when we get the opportunity to do certain things, everybody has to be involved in the process. And that was this is one of the times that it came out really well, I think, for this district. I also want to commend, Ms. Teresa Boston Ellis and her team for the audits. 22 schools with perfect audits. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. That means they had no error in anything, and they accounted for every red cent in that school. So I'm excited about that, because one of the things that we are charged with is budget and policies, and and we're very conservative on a lot of things, and especially when it comes to money. We don't want to waste any money. So I'm grateful for those schools that were able to have those perfect audits, challenging the other schools to get to that level. And I pray that they keep up the great work that they're doing in that department. Thank you, Ms. Boston Ellis, and your team. Moving on. Last week, we had an opportunity to participate in 2 groundbreaking for schools, elementary schools, to help alleviate the stress and the growth in the southwest corridor of Marion County. Those 2 groundbreakings were needed, needed. And we're looking forward to, and we actually tonight approved the architectural design for services for a new high school. Marion County is growing at leaps and bounds. I think the number I heard last week, there's like 1,000 families or something like that moving in every week or something every month. And that is really, 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 that's a lot of people to just move into an area in a month's time. 2 of those schools, one was in the Marion Oaks area and then one is in the Sun Valley area, are going to help, let me say it again, help to relieve the stress of some of those schools around there. Today at Hammett Bowen, Hammett Bowen went over 1,000 students today. Actually 1,006 students, I think. And so that area is growing rapidly. I truly believe that as fast as we get them built, they'll be filled again. And so we have to continue to be thinking about the future on what's going to happen. May not be on the board at that time. However, we have to, I think this board is in a position to plan for the future. And the reason that we were able to have the property, to have the resources to build these new schools because someone had foresight that we need to make sure that we have the land and the resources to do that. So I think this board has that opportunity to do it for another board, and I'm hoping that we will not rest on the building of these new schools, but we'll start looking for other sites as well, because the growth is not going to stop. It's going to continue. It's going to continue to move forward, and we just need to be prepared for the future, preparing for the future. Moving on, and I'm about through. As preachers always say that I'm almost through.
We're going to believe you.
The literacy, tonight we heard a lot of these young people reading their essays from kindergarten to high school. I was very pleased to hear and see the progression of those students, the reading abilities. There are some great things going on in Marion County when it comes to literacy, and I'm praying that we continue to get more and more kids involved in the literacy. All of them needs to be honest with you, it should be, but to challenge them to participate in those essay contests and all those types of things, I think it helps. The young lady that came up last, my God, she was something else. They often say that if you get skipped, you got skipped for a reason. It was unintentional, but it was the right skip, because she, as others would say, she was a showstopper. She did a tremendous job. Her vocabulary was excellent, and way better than a lot of adults, to be honest with you. And she articulated extremely well. So, congratulations to that young lady. But there was a young man that read. I think he's at Westport. He was one of the literacy students, and his name is Georges Alisay. I don't know if y'all caught that one. It's Dr. Alisay's son. But I want to commend Georges, because Georges has some other recognitions that have happened through the school system, but also outside the school system because of his connections to some mentoring groups. He's a mentee for the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and they have a program called the Alpha Scholars Program, and Georges is part of that. Their initiative that fraternities initiative is to go to high school, go to college. So George's is one of those students that's an Alpha Scholar, that is a national recognized program, and I want to commend him for that. But not only do I want to commend the Alphas for their recognition and for their pushing in the mentoring program, all of the Divine Nine organizations have mentoring programs in our area, and I want to encourage parents, I want to encourage the community to reach out to us as we reach out to you. I left my prayer hat here tonight for a reason, because I know people were like, why does he put his hat on? It's for a reason, because Divine Nine organizations do a great thing in our communities, and we support our communities, but we have mentoring. To be a member of the Divine Nine, you have to have a college degree. You have to have a college degree. So scholarship and education are a priority with us and all of us. And so a few years ago, my fraternity, we brought our focus program here before the school board, and the Deltas and the AKAs, they also have mentoring programs. So I want to encourage us to kind of partner more with the Divine Nine, and for the community to know that there are some resources out there that you can tap into that can help these kids be very, very successful. Finally, we recognized a lot of student athletes tonight from Vanguard High School. Very impressive, very impressive, very impressive. I want to commend Principal Carlisle, but not just Principal Carlisle. I want to commend the whole VHS village, because it takes a village to deal with some of these kids. And what we saw in front of us, that success does not come by one or two people. It comes by a mindset change of people wanting to make a difference. It comes by folks seeing an issue and deciding that we need to do something about the issue. And I commend that VHS family, but I also want to singularly commend Coach Farmer as well, he and his wife, because I know that he personally took it upon himself, as well as Attorney Slaughter, to see that these kids had opportunities to go to college, but they were missing the opportunity to go to college because they didn't have the grades. So why have all this athletic prowess, but you can't get there because you don't have the right GPA? So they decided to make sure that they have not only the athletic ability, but they have the academic ability. So I want to commend them for doing that, because as we can see tonight, we saw the result of that, their brainstorming and deciding to do something, to not sit on the sideline, but to do something about it. So I commend them for that. I'm grateful for what they're doing. I'm expecting to see a lot more student athletes, and it wasn't just football. There were basketball, there was track, there were different students from all around. So I commend the whole school for what they've done. So it's truly been a great night, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the days ahead as we approach the last 9 weeks of school. Don't get slack. Please don't get slack. Seniors, please don't get slack. My son, you hear me, please don't get slack now. This is not the time. This is not the time to go on summer vacation, but this is the time to really buckle in and make sure those things that you need to get done. And those are my comments for tonight.
Thank you, Board Member Cummings. On to Vice Chair Conrad.
Good evening, everyone, and really all the sentiments that have been shared this evening, I don't want to say again, but it really was an amazing night for Marion County Public Schools. And when I joined the board a little over a year ago, one thing that was important to me is that we, as Marion County Public Schools, tell our story. Anything negative that happens, it's the first thing that goes into the newspaper or on the news. But there are so many great things, just like we saw this evening, between our students and the accomplishments of our staff members that are happening every single day. And so I want to thank Dr. Gullett and I want to thank Chair Thrower for making sure that we are celebrating all these successes. And I know there's many more. We see them at the schools we visit every day. But it's just so great to see the reward, the success of our students and our staff members. This morning I had the privilege of going to the Public Ed Foundation. I hated to miss the CEP kickoff at Bellevue High School because I represent Bellevue High School, and was really excited about the culinary program and the color guard performing there, and it just felt perfect after we just finished facility tours, and we're asking for the community to come and see what's going on, what our needs are at our schools. So it really just all fell into place, I felt like, for that to begin at Bellevue. And so Principal Guest sure did have a full day today. I told her, I said goodbye, and she left. I was like, goodbye, I know you're ready to go home. But I wasn't able to be there, but really am celebrating all that happened there this morning. But I have a confession to make. I've been kind of on the outskirts with the Public Ed Foundation for a very long time, a part of the Golden Apple program, attended meetings here and there. But having the privilege of sitting on that board, the things that they are able to accomplish and help our students and our staff with are amazing. I sat this morning in awe at all of the things that they're able to help us with. And so I have a few things I want to share that are coming up. First, to go along with what Reverend Cummings shared about mentorship. Take Stock is still in need of 4 mentors. So if you know anyone that would like to mentor, there's 4 females, 4 girls that need mentoring. 1 at Denellen, 2 at Lake Weir High School, and 1 at Westport. And I can only speak for myself, but my time mentoring each week is one of my favorite times. I enjoy sitting and visiting with my mentee, chit-chatting about what's going on in school, what's going on in band, what's going on in her family. And so even though it is a commitment, a weekly commitment, there is a lot of reward. So if you know anyone that might be interested in mentoring, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to connect you. We'd like to get those spots filled for those students. Okay, so I do have a little list of things coming up. The Golden Apple Horse is going to be moved to the Forest campus in celebration with Miss Brown, and so that is going to be on April 24th. And so if the board is interested in joining me, I'd love to see you there. Also that evening, they're having a bowling fundraiser for raising funds for the Public Ed Foundation, and they've got school teams that are coming to compete against each other. They have some business sponsors. It sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know, I don't think they've done it in a couple years because of COVID, but I do remember previously participating on a team, and it's a lot of fun. Kind of a pick-me-up as we go through the end of the year. There's also a Mackenzie's Moment golf tournament coming up on the 28th and the 29th. And then Take Stock graduation is on May 1st at 7 o'clock at the Klein Center. And there's also a district retirement breakfast on June 4th at the Weber Center. And so I just wanted you to be able to put a few of those things on your calendar if you are able to attend. I also wanted to give Mr. Benvenuti a shout out. I had to apologize to him first, but now I'm going to give him a shout out. So in visiting schools, they were having some difficulty connecting for certification exams and other things. And so I just want to say thank you. Some people were very happy to see you. So, things don't get fixed immediately. Technology is tricky. There's a lot of things to work out. But just having you show up and acknowledge that there's room for improvement there is just greatly appreciated. So thank you for all that you do and your availability. It's greatly appreciated. And last but not least, I just want to say Happy Easter to everyone. This Sunday, I'm looking forward to relaxing, being with family, attending church, and I hope you are able to too. Thank you, Chair Thrower.
Thank you, Vice Chair Conrad. Just a great night overall. I also wanted to acknowledge our State Representative Ryan Chamberlain for coming out to our groundbreakings for our new elementary schools, and also County Commissioner Carl Zalek for his support. we're really doing all we can to hear the community and serve the community. And we know that so many parents, including parents sitting up here, are operating on razor-thin time margins, and just the thought that's going into these schools. And I'd like to thank Board Member, James for leading the way on that committee for us, looking at car lines, the logistics of how we can help support families get their kids to school on time, because we sure talk a lot about that. But, putting our thoughts, where our mouths are, and really executing those plans in very thoughtful ways. So that's very exciting. And certainly tonight is just a great example that, I heard it said earlier, practice makes better. We are practicing getting better all of the time, and then I added, so you can have many perfect moments, and we are starting to stack up those perfect moments, those magical moments where it just feels so good for what this district is accomplishing, and taking time out of the exhausting work and effort that takes to be so committed and driven to also celebrate. And we don't hide from our challenges, and we sure are learning how to celebrate. And I think that's that lift that will continue to keep us going as we continue our trajectory. So that's what I'm going to end with tonight, and it continues to be an honor and pleasure to be serving on the Marion County School Board. Very sadly, I always have to move in at this point to before addressing, expulsion matters. And when I think about it, and at some point Dr. Gullett and I talked about this, it would really be good at the end of the year to get a percentage tally. We have almost 46,000 students now, and I feel like I read a lot of names every 2 weeks. But maybe in the end, out of 46,000 students, maybe there's 10% or less than 10%, whatever that number is, that aren't getting it for some reason. And we want that number to get smaller and smaller, and we will not rest until we make sure that every student and family knows what the opportunities are, and then just hope, pray, and guide that they'll make the good choices, so I don't ever have to read your student's number on this list, because it's an awful way to end the evening. So I have hope that as we continue to just work hard to make things better for everybody, that these lists of numbers are going to get shorter and shorter, and that'll be a celebratory day for all of us, including me. So before addressing expulsion matters, I wish to acknowledge the board members have received the alternative placement lists for students through February 26th, 2024. Ms. Martinez, are there any parents who have submitted a timely request to speak on their child's disciplinary matter?
We have 3 off-air.
Thank you. May I have a motion then to approve the expulsion of student JD 24-198, JD 24-200, JD 24-202, JD 24-203, JD 24-206, JD 24-208, JD 24-210, JD 24-211E, JD 24-212E, JD 24-213, JD 24-215E, JD 24-217, JD 24-220, JD 24-223, and JD 24-224 with educational services for the remainder of the 2023-2024 school year and the first, second, and third quarters of the 2024-2025 school year. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vice Chair Conrad.
Second.
Second by Board Member Campbell. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. Moving on to 25.2, may I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD 24-201, JD 24-205E, JD 24-218, and JD 24-219 with educational services for the remainder of the 2023-2024 school year and the entire 2024-2025 school year.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Board Member Campbell. Second by Vice Chair Conrad. Any further discussion from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. It is 7:30 PM. I will now call the meeting into recess so we can clear the room for our off-air. Thank you very much.